In this video, we are going to continue our conversation about compound interest. So our compound interest formula is up here. It's the same formula that we were talking about in our last lesson. And if we look at example 1, it says Elijah wants to have a total of $5,000 in 2 years so that he can buy a used car. He found an account that he found. I'll fix that for when you have it. He found an account that pays 5% interest compounded monthly. How much should Elijah put into this account so that he will have $5,000 at the end of 2 years? In all of the examples that we did in the last lesson, we knew the principal amount. We had the money that we put into the bank and we invested it. In this problem, they are not telling us our p-value. They're telling us the final amount. We want to have $5,000. So in this problem, the $5,000 is the A value. We're going to be solving for P. He wants to have it in 2 years, so that's our time frame. The account pays 5% interest, that's R, and it's compounded monthly, that's N. So let's see what we have. We know that A is $5,000. T is 2 years. R is 5%. So 5 divided by 100 is 0.05. Compounded monthly, so N is 12. And we don't know what P is. So we're going to have to solve for P. So let's plug in what we do know into our equation. So I'm going to have $5,000 equals P times 1 plus 0.05 over 12 raised to the 12 times 2 power. I want to solve for P. P is being multiplied by this whole thing. How do you undo multiplication? Division. So we are going to divide by this entire thing. And it's going to look strange. And it's going to be okay. Because I don't want you to stress out. Because we are going to solve this using Desmos. And Desmos is going to do all of the hard work for you. All you have to do is write it down. That way you know what to plug into Desmos. So don't freak out because it looks scary. Pause the video. Make sure you have all of this written down. And once you have all this written down, then you can resume the video because we're going to plug this into Desmos together. All right, so everything that's on my screen should be on your paper. Multiplication undoes division. So this side cancels. And all that's left on the right-hand side is P. On the left-hand side of my inequality, or not my inequality, my equation, I don't know where inequality came from, is this. We are going to type this into Desmos just like this, exactly how it looks. So let's head on over to Desmos.com. And when you go to Desmos.com, do yourself a favor, click on Math Tools, and then click on Scientific Calculator. You can also get there by going to Desmos.com/scientific. So let's see. We're going to type it in. We had $5,000 divided by. Now you have to do everything the way it was. So if I go back to my notes, I'm typing in this pink part right here. I have to use the parentheses and everything. So, in my denominator, parentheses, 1 plus, and then it was 0.05 divided by 12, close parentheses, exponent button. Whenever your exponent has more than one thing, you must use parentheses around it. And that's going to be n times t. N was 12, and t was 2. My answer is over here. So, we're dealing with money. With money, we have to round to 2 decimal places. So we look at the third decimal spot. Will I round this up or keep it the same? You will round up. 7 is a number higher than 5. So my answer will be $4,525.13. $4,525.13. So, if Elijah wants $5,000 in 2 years without saving any extra money, he just wants to put money into an account and have it grow on its own and then have $5,000 in 2 years, then Elijah needs to deposit $4,525.13 today to have $5,000 in 2 years in this bank account. I know that was weird the first time that you saw it. Let's try it again. It's doing the same exact skills that you learned in the last lesson, but we're just adding one more step. I believe in you. You can do it. Example 2. You need to save $6,000 in 3 years for a down payment on a house. How much money should you invest into a savings account that earns 2.5% interest compounded quarterly? Well, let's find out. You want $6,000. That's your A value. You want to have that in 3 years. That's T. Let's see. Your account has 2.5% interest. That's R. And it's compounded quarterly. That's 4. So that's your N value. So A is 6,000. T is 3. R is 2.5%. So if I convert that out of a percentage, it's going to be 0.025. N is 4 because it's compounded quarterly. And we're solving for our principal amount, our initial deposit. So let's plug that into the formula. I'm going to have 6,000 equals P times 1 plus 0.025 divided by 4 raised to the 4 times 3 power. I want to get P alone. P is being multiplied by this entire thing. To undo multiplication, I'm going to do division. And I am going to divide by that entire thing. Now, luckily for us, we have calculators. And we can use a calculator to do this for us so that we do not have to calculate this on our own in our heads. And so the hardest part about this is just copying it down. So, go ahead and pause the video. Make sure you have all this copied down. That way you know what to enter into Desmos. So resume. Let's do that. Resume this video once you have this all copied down, and then we will head on over to Desmos and plug this in together. So everything on my page should be copied down on yours. What we see is that multiplication or division undoes multiplication, and that just leaves me with P. And then on the left-hand side of my equation, this is what I have. This is what I am typing into Desmos. Go ahead and try practicing this on your own, and then when you get an answer, resume the video. So make sure you're practicing on your own, because on a test or a quiz, I won't be able to show you how to do it. You're going to need to know how to do it for yourself. So I'm going to have 6,000 divided by... It's going to be easier if I just do it myself. So let's do that. 6,000 divided by, parentheses, 1 plus 0.025 divided by 4, close parentheses, exponent button. Exponent needs to go in parentheses. It is being compounded 4 times a year for 3 years. And we're getting $5,567.76. So $5,567 $67.76. That is how much money that I would need to invest today to have $6,000 in 3 years using this bank account.